What is up, YouTube? It's not Prodigy, bringing you a brand new video, and today, guys, this is gonna be my new tank build for Morrowind. Now, quick disclosure before we start the video. As always, I gotta put in a little disclosure there. This is going to be the most tankiest PvE Dragonknight build in the game. This is the tankiest PvE Dragonknight build in the game. I repeat that. However, this is not the best for group play. This is not the best for min-max trials build. This is by any means not for group play. Any means not for PvP. In my opinion, a Dragonknight tank has no business being in PvP at all as a tank. You'll just die really fast within like 2 seconds, and it's just not a fun experience overall. If you're gonna play a tank in PvP, create a Circ, and you're gonna have a lot better time. Yeah, guys, this is going to be my really tanky build. Now, again, guys, this is not min-max. This is just what I run. This is my setup. You will not die with it. I don't think things like Alkash, for example, running a actual stamina set on your build is really good for tanking. I just don't find it useful. But again, if you're doing the trials and you really want to get your group this extra help and all that, I'll give you some alternate sets. It will be included in the alternate sets. However, I would not recommend it for my build. I like being tanky. Again, you will never die with this. This will be definitely good for beginners and all that, because you'll never die. People who are new to tanking, you won't die, but at the same time, you might not be giving them any group bonuses. So that being said, guys, you will be able to tank anything, and let's get right into the build here. So what we're going to be running here, guys, is a 5-piece vampire cloak. So I'm going to put that right there on the weapons and shield. We're going to do it on the jewelry as well. Then we also got a 5-piece of the footmans on our body, and then we got a 2-piece entry guardian. So let me just go through and show you all the traits and enchantments that I have on each of these. So for the weapons, we have the crusher enchantments on both, so physical and spell resistance on one. Now you can easily change this up, put maybe like a flame enchantment or something like that on the or increase your weapon and spell damage, or decrease their weapon and spell damage, so they you guys take less damage against enemies. I'm not really too sure how that works in PvE, but that's what you can do for that. But make sure you have at least one crusher enchantment. Make sure both your weapons are defending. It doesn't matter if they're an axe, a dagger, etc. Next up, we're going to get these shields. Make sure these are sturdy, and you want to get these in max health enchantments as well, just for extra health. Next off, we're going to get the Engine Guardian mask. That is going to be Impen. You don't need to have this in Impen. I would recommend sturdy. However, Impen is the only trait that I was lucky enough to receive. Get a max health enchantment on that as well. Next off, we're going to get the Curious of the Footmans. That is sturdy with a stamina enchantment. Next off, we get the Engine Guardian Pauldrons. That's sturdy with the health enchantment. Waist for footmen, sturdy, health enchantment. Gauntlets for footmen, that's sturdy, health enchantment. Legs is sturdy, health enchantment. And the boots is sturdy, health enchantment. On the jewelry, we're going to get these all in healthy, and we're going to put shield point enchantments on each of these as well. So that reduces the cost of bash by 301 and reduces cost of blocking by 201. Now, guys, the reason we're running these sets, just some benefits of them, is, let me just go through this. The mitigation on this build is absolutely stupid. Like, it is the most mitigation in the game that you can get with running Engine Guardian. So you're going to have sustain as well with Engine Guardian. If you didn't run Engine Guardian, you would not be able to sustain. However, you could get more mitigation, which really is kind of useless at the point that we're at, because we already have cap and resistances, and we have cap for mitigation almost. But so here we go. We got gain minor protection at all times, reducing damage taken by 8%. That is Vampire Cloak. So it's really good set. All times you're taking 8% damage, no matter what you're doing. You'll be standing there doing nothing, just as long as you have on Vampire's Cloak, 5 pieces, you're going to get 8% reduction in damage. So it's really good. You don't even have to be blocking. Next off, we got Engine Guardian. Pretty basic, as you guys probably know. This is solely for sustain. When you get a magical one, you just spam Making the Shield, get all your stamina back. Maybe hit your buffs up for armor. When you get a stamina one, hit Shuffle and, Vigor and all that, as well as you can block more. When you get a health one, you're basically invincible, so that's one benefit of that. Next off, we're going to have the Footman's set right there. So we got the health, physical resistance, spell resistance, increase the amount of damage you can block by 8%. So it's going to give you even more mitigation as well. So you're really not dying. So right there, just on the sets alone, 16% mitigation against damage. So really good setup to have. Now again, this is only when you're blocking, so this is why I like more of an infinite block build with this. However, sometimes it might be a little bit harder this update, so you will have to be weaving in heavy attacks as well to get sustain. However, you can manage it really well. You just gotta be smart with it. You gotta know what you're doing. So a little bit might come with just knowing the fight itself. However, this is really good for sustaining with infinite block as well, with that huge mitigation. So that is what we got there for the armor setup, armor and weapon setup. So let me just get right on to here to the let's go to the food and potions that you're gonna be running for this build. So the food that I chose to run is Orzaga's Red Frothgar. Same as my last build, it's max health and magic recovery. And you know, this just gives you absolutely hella magic recovery. This gives you so much sustain, it's stupid, right? You get that big max health bonus, which is always great, and the magic recovery just boosts your, you know, sustain up amazingly high. Because, you know, everything that we use to get stamina back is going to be magicka. And since, you know, this is an infinite block build, you're really not going to be, you know, trying to get stamina recovery because, you know, it doesn't count. So we only want that magic recovery, and it's going to give you a huge bonus there. Next off, we're going to be running potions. You can run Essence of Stamina. These work fine, just these normal potions here, perfectly fine. You know, they give you huge bonus for stamina. Not huge, you know, I mean 6,000, but it just gives you that stamina back so you can block more. Your sustain should be fine if you just keep popping these like every 45 seconds when they're up. If you have the passive for it, it will last even longer for stamina regeneration, which doesn't even matter. So it's really good as well, the stamina right there. But then we also got the lingering health potions. Now these are for like the oh shit panic button moment. So, for example, the only time you're really going to use these is if you're in like a really bad situation. You know, you're having a tough time like staying alive, but your sustain's fine. Because if you use these, you're not going to be able to use the stamina ones. But these are still really good to help you stay alive, and you're not really going to have a problem staying alive with these. I would recommend getting the alchemy passives for this. Although I do not have them, but it will last 45 seconds if you get the, actually longer than that, and you'll get 1,000 health per second, which is really good. That's basically 2,000 extra health recovery, which is amazing. And the Major Vitality increases your healing taken, so you really will not be able to die when you have this up, basically at anything as well. As long as you definitely have sustain up. Even with no sustain, you'll still not really be taking that much damage just because your lingering health will just, you know, keep you alive. Next off, we got some health potions. Kind of useless as well. You can put them on there, just maybe just because I'm immune for knockback. I don't even know if that works in PvE, to be honest with you, but I got that there. Next off, you could run some of the weapon power ones, so it'll give you a boost on things like Vigor, I think. I'm not too sure. I don't really know, but maybe it does, beats me. But you could also run Tri-Stat. I do not have any on this character right now, but Tri-Stat would also work for the magic of stamina and health. That would actually be a really, really good potion to run. That's what I would normally run to recommend if you wanted to like sort of min-max this build out per se. Also, the lingering health is just really, really good as well. But that's what we're running there. I'll show you my hotkey bar real quick. So this is my hotkey. We got the stamina, lingering health, flaming oil, sigil retreat, Orzaga's Red Frothgar, Coldstone Trebuchet, keep wall masonry kit, Alliance health draught, and then that's what we got there. Okay, so let's go on to the like the boons and all that, right? So attribute points, we got 64 into stamina. You know, so it's really good setup there. Yeah, I'll explain a little bit more here. Let me just show you my stats fully buffed up real quick, because I know some of you guys are gonna love to see that. So we're just gonna do that real quick. Okay. All right. So these are my stats fully buffed up. We capped out on both resistances. Crit resistance useless on this build. You know, crit resistance. I mean, useless on this build. Magic recovery. That's what we want there. Got high on that. Health is pretty good. 35,000 basically. Stamina is pretty high. Everything's good. Resistances are capped out. Spells a little bit higher than cap. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really factor unless you get a debuff on you, which doesn't really happen. But anyways, onto the attributes here. We got 64 into stamina, and that is, you know, this number can be, you know, switched around a little bit. I wouldn't put more than 32 into health, and less than 32 into stamina. So at worst case, if you wanted to split this, you could do 32 and 32. Depends on your playstyle. I just like 64 into all stamina, but you can take maybe like 10, 20 out of there, put it into health if you want to. Perfectly up to you. The stamina doesn't really play any factor now because it's just a complete standard number, like a flat number for Ignition when you get back stamina on the Helping Hands passive. So again, it's up to you. I like the higher stamina pool just because, you know, when we get an Engine Guardian proc, you know, we get more stamina to be able to block, and I'm pretty good at keeping up my buffs and all that. So, you know, you could actually take down your max stamina pool, maybe put that down to like, I'd be willing to take out, you know, 32 from here and put it into health. But again, it's completely up to you. You don't have to do that. It's all on your preference. Next off, we got the boon HO, and that is going to give you magic recovery. So again, turn that magic recovery into stamina. So that's why we got that there, as well as applying buffs. So it's really good to have a magic recovery, because stamina recovery again does not even factor in when you're blocking. Next off, Red Frothgar, max health is 5,000. Magic recovery is you know, 500 again, or 450. It's really good there. Minor protection at all times, that's the vampire cloak as well. And footman's comes up when you're blocking, even though you might not see the passive here. I don't really know why that doesn't show up, but it's there. Trust me. Next off, we got the skills here. Let's go into the skills, and then we're going to champion points as well. So we're doing new skills and passives here. So we got Pierce Armor. Now this is going to be your taunt and your physical and spell resistance debuff. So they're going to be taunted on you for 15 seconds, but the debuff is going to be only for 12 seconds. So again, really good, and it costs like basically nothing here. So you can, this is what you're going to be using to taunt everything. I do not use a range taunt on this build. I don't feel like it's useful. I just like to get up close with my enemies, and I feel like this is perfect taunt to do so. Next off, we got Igneous Shield. That's going to turn our stamina into our magic into stamina, and then we also got the Major Mending from that. So with 25% healing done for 3 seconds. So whenever you hit Igneous Shield, be sure to hit a Vigor if you can, or if you're low on health. Otherwise, you can just keep hitting this and get back stamina. So yeah. Next off, we got Stalwart Guard. This is more of a flex spot here. So I'll go do that real quick here. Stalwart Guard increases you and your bonded allies critical strike damage by 10%, so it gives them minor force. And it will remain for about 15 meters. While it's bonded, 30% of the damage that they take is instead redistributed to you. So this, you really got to watch out when you're using this skill, because this can kill you pretty fast. Because like, as a tank, if you're blocking infinitely and you have really high resistances, you're gonna be taking really like no damage, but the other people around you will be taking a lot of damage from ads and such if you can't get aggro on all of them, because you won't be able to. It's just not possible in all situations. So you got to watch out sometimes when this happens, because you can die pretty easily using this. You know, but it's still really good, and this is on both bars, by the way. So when we swap, it stays on both. When we weapon swap, the bond remains. Some things you can run is a flex bot on this position, as well as the one on the back bar. You could maybe run, Igneous Weapons on one, maybe put Petrify in the back bar, etc. You could maybe do, Structure Entropy on both if you wanted to, so we don't get a health desync. You could run maybe, Rapid Maneuvers on one. Then you could run maybe Purge on the front bar, just things like that. You can switch things around. Maybe you want to run Purge, and say you want to run Igneous Weapons. Say you want to run Igneous Weapons, and I don't know, Rapid Maneuvers. You can just do things like that. So that's a flex spot. It's completely up to you. The reason I like to run Stalwart Guard or a support ability on here is because not only does it help out your teammates a little bit, and since we're not doing that with like Alkash, I like to just have that on there. And since we're really tanky, we can take a little bit more damage than most tanks, but it gives you 10% more magic recovery as well. So in return, you're getting more sustain from it, and they're taking less damage. Plus, they're dealing more damage as well. So I think it's a really good ability to have on here. That's why I like to stick with it. Next off, we got the Absorb Magic. This is going to increase the amount that you can block by 8% as well, stacking on to what we already have. And the cost of blocking is reduced by 8% as well. So really good skill to have on here. Also, when you're you're gonna see in my build showcase here, if you're low on health, you don't have that much sustain left, you really need to heal, just pop this, and if a projectile hits you, then you will gain so much health back, it's stupid. So it's really good there to have. So yeah. Next off, we got Resolving Vigor. That's our heal. Again, try to hit this after you hit a Igneous Shield if you can. If not, you just hit it if you're in a really shitty situation there. You need stuff to block with, but again, I would try to always hit that after Igneous Shield. It'll just make your life so much easier, Next off, we got the Shield Wall. Now, I don't have this morphed yet, but it reinforces your shield, allowing you to automatically block all attacks for no cost for 5 seconds. This is a really good ability, and the reason I'm starting to run this over Ferocious Sleep now is because not only does it cost less, and since the ultimate is kind of weird now in the way that it gives you resources back. It's like the shield, like I know it gives you 103% of your max health for 6 seconds. That only lasts 6 seconds, guys, so it's not going to be there forever. So I was sort of just thinking that's really why we use it. We also use it to get back resources. But now since we're getting resources back more, and since we're going to have to use ultimates a lot more than my last build, because the sustain this update for tanks is absolutely killed, guys, especially on Dragonites, it is killed. So you're definitely going to have to be popping this as much as you can. And saving Corrosive only when like everybody's dead and you want to build that up, and then we get them a res, as you guys will see in the showcase. But so yeah, shield wall there, really good. I don't even have the morph for it yet, and this is already amazing. So trust me, guys, on this. Just use this when you get the morph. I'm not too sure what the morphs are, to be honest with you. I didn't even look this up, but I'm sure it has to be really good, because this is absolutely amazing. For 5 seconds, you're basically invincible. Technically not, but it's free cost to block, so you can walk around. You'll save resources from not blocking. You'll save resources from just hitting things while not blocking. It's just great. It's a really good ability overall, and it gives you back sustain. So definitely run shield wall on the front bar. First sleep is fine too, but I like shield wall better. And the morph, I'm sure, is even better as well. I think it's free casting on all abilities. I'm not too sure. But next off, we got Heroic Slash there. This is solely to give them minor maim and minor heroism. So for example, if you hit a boss with this, they're going to do a 15% less damage to you for 12 seconds. So it's really, really good to have up here. Normally we lead the attack with a Crusher enchantment proc, so we can do like a light attack, then we'll hit a puncture, and then we'll switch our back bar and hit that Heroic Slash just to get the ultimate gen, and they will do less damage to us. But don't always keep this up, guys. Keep this up whenever you need to. Pop an ultimate, for example, or if you definitely need some ultimate, pop this up. However, you don't really need to have this up. If you're fighting a harder boss, I'd definitely keep this up, though. I'm pretty sure not all bosses are immune to this. Some might be, but it's really good to have on here. Next off, Volatile Armor. This is the physical and spell resistance buff that we're going to have on. Pretty common here. Just once you have this will cap you out on resistances. The cap for resistance is 33,000. So we're a little bit over on spell, and we're exactly perfect on physical. So it's really, really good there. Can't get any higher than that. Unless you get a debuff, then that's the only time it will factor in. But other than that, it should be really, really good to have up at all times. And if you had a debuff and you didn't have this on, you'd actually get melted. So you definitely want to always keep this up at all times. This is a must skill. Like, never be in a fight where you're not having this up. And if you forget you don't have enough magic to cast it, that's fine too. You still got high resistance, but try to keep this up at all times. Next off, we got Stalwart Guard. Again, that's the flex spot. Next off, we got Evasion. That is a 15% less damage at all times. Now, I know it costs a little bit of stamina, guys, so I wouldn't really try to cast this unless you get Engine Guardian proc on stamina. But I would like to keep it up at all times, especially if it's an easier boss fight. Definitely try to keep this up at all times, even though I know it might be hard. It might take a little bit of practice to keep this up with sustain, because I know it is pretty hard to keep up, and I will have to admit that. Again, it comes into a lot of experience of how many times you've played like a dungeon, for example, or how well you know the mechanics of when to hit evasion. But it's a really good skill to have up if you can. 15% less damage is really, really good. It just costs a lot. Next off, we got the Green Dragon's Blood. This can sort of be a flex spot as well, guys. If you want to switch out an ability like this for, like, say, Igneous Weapons, Petrify, I don't know, say Purge or something. But the reason I have Green's Dragon Blood on here, and you could even go as far as maybe even putting a Purge on here for the extra 10% magic recovery as well. But the reason we're going Green's Dragon Blood, guys, is because this is like your absolute panic button. You're gonna have to wait for another magic tick on recovery, but it's okay because this will heal you tremendously, right? And this is only for when you have really, really low health. Okay, this is when like you have to like play really wisely and hit this, because it'll heal you for 37% of your missing health. So say you're missing 30,000 health, and then you pop that, you're gonna get 10k health back. It's a really good heal, instant heal as well. But it also gives you the minor vitality, so increases your healing received for 30 seconds by 8%. So I kind of like it. You wouldn't really hit it for the vitality. You will never really hit this at all unless it's like a really, really bad panic moment. And I mean like really bad, or like if you know a certain mechanic. For example, I always use this example in my build videos. So when you're in Dragonstar Arena, there's a mechanic where the boss, he's the Battle Master. On the last stage, he will pull you in and take your health down to like 5 or 10% health, and that's for everybody no matter what you do. You can't even even if you block it, it'll just take you down that low. So you just hit that immediately, then maybe hit that, and then bang, and your health will go up tremendously. So definitely really, really good ability to have on there. But again, it can be a flex spot as well. Most of the time, for like 99% of the things you're going to be doing, it's a good flex spot. But Green's Dragon Blood, it does come in handy sometimes, I will admit. Corrosive Armor, this is definitely like your absolute, like, get all your resources back, take no damage, go full god mode for 10.8 seconds type of ability, okay? So this is absolutely amazing. Like, you can res people with this. You can be last alive tanking like 20 ads, and you'll see that that's how I do in the build showcase. You pop Corrosive, and you literally cannot die. It's almost impossible, right? And then you just sit there and just res people. You can do whatever you want. And the reason why this is so good is because, like, it limits your incoming damage to 3% of your max health. For example, another example here, if you're in White Gold Tower and there's an HO that gives you 250,000 damage per light attack, you can pop this and will only deal 3% of your max health. So say I'm at 100,000 for example, which I know isn't the case, but say you were at 100,000 max health, this will only do 3,000 damage instead of 250,000 damage. So it's really good ability to have. Again, like it's just so good. Like you have to have this on as a Dragonknight tank. You literally cannot not have it on. Then again, the shield wall is really good as well for your front bar. Again, I would keep corrosive on your back bar because you're not popping this as often as shield wall. Shield wall is definitely the one I would be popping more often. This is like a 20 to 25 to 1 type thing. Shield wall is what you use to sustain at all times, like always be popping shield wall. But then when you absolutely need to rest somebody, for example, save up a little bit and then get corrosive armor, which is why we got hero risen buffs and all that to just get our ultimate really fast light attacks, get your ultimate back fast. So it's really good to have up on the back bar. But those are the skills. Let's get on to the passives here. So Ardent Flame, you're going to get no skills, no passives on this at all. Dragonknight Standard, I never liked this ability. It's just not as good as corrosive. There's really no reason to run it. 250 ultimate, like it's so stupid to run. There's no point in running this. Like just don't. Okay, don't. Next off, we got this Roast Sleep on unlock. As well. But anyways, to get all the passives here, we got all the passives in Draconic Power, all the passives in Earthen Heart. Let's see, one hand shield. You obviously get all the passives there. Let's see. Medium armor, get evasion. Heavy armor, get all the passives. Let's see what else we got here. Improved hiding, maybe just get all the passives there just because it helps. I mean, why not? Fighter's Guild, banish the wicked. Get some of that. Actually, you might be able to even get some more passives in here. No, don't. Okay, only get banish the wicked. 3 of those. Mage's Guild, get structured entropy, and then you can do Magicka Controller as well. And it'll be fine. You could actually even get some of these that will just help out a little bit for entropy, but you don't really need to. Undaunted, you can do the metal and command. Not bad. I don't believe in 5-1-1 setup. However, for this build, you can actually run 5 heavy and 2 light, or you could run 6 heavy, 1 light. It's completely up to you. But obviously, if you're switching those out, it would have to be your helmets, and you would definitely want to get sturdy on those if you're going to do something like that. Something that risky, but your physical resistance will go down a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because we can change it up in champion point tree, as you guys will see. But it's kind of iffy. You will get better sustain with it, but I don't know. Like you can run light armor if you want to, but you gotta get the RNG to run it. Actually, I'd probably even recommend it, especially if you're not as experienced on a tank, or if you're just not as good with sustaining on this build. Even I'm not that good at sustaining with this build, just because the update hits you so hard with it compared to last update. But I think in the future, when I do get a light sturdy piece for either my helmet or my shoulders, I will be running that on my tank. So that's just something to throw out there. Assault, Vigor, get all the passives there. Passives, Stalwart Guard, Purge, Rapid Maneuver, all that stuff. Nord. Oh yeah, guys, I'm a Nord for this, by the way, if you guys didn't know. So right there, we're getting the max stamina by 6%, health recovery by 20%, max health by 9%, cold resistance by 2,000. The cold resistance is kind of useless there, but it's whatever. Reduces your damage taken by 6%. This is what the real reason I'm a Nord. So reduces my damage taken by 6%. Footman's gives me 8. Vampire Cloak gives me 8. The Absorb Magic skill gives me 8. It's just really good overall. Revealer, I don't even know what the hell this is. Let's see. Increase the duration of any consumed drink by 15 minutes. So obviously it's amazing. That's the only reason we're a Nord, right? But anyways, Alchemy, you should get medicinal use if you can. If not, perfectly fine. I don't even have it, but get that if you have to. And this is just my crafter as well, so I got that there. Champion points here. Let's go on to champion points. So for the green tree, okay, guys, this is absolutely messed up, right? This is like the most hardest thing to do for a tank, especially this update. And I'm not saying these champion points are the best. They're not, mid-max in my opinion. Actually, they might even be, in my opinion. I think this works perfectly for my build, to be honest with you. But it's kind of weird the way that they work this update. So anyways, we're going to do 56 into Warlords. That's break free. Right there, 20.15%. It rounds down. Champion points round down. So say you get 20.99%, it's going to give you 20% instead of 21%. So it's really weird the way that it works, this update. It's actually really stupid the way that it works, but I guess it's whatever. We got to live with it. ZOS is probably never going to change it. They're just the way they are. So 56 into Warlord, 20% break free cost. Sprinter, we're going to do 4% right there. Arcanist, 56 is 12% magic recovery. And then we got Tumbling, 11. And And then we got Shadow Ward, 24%. The reason I didn't put 100 into Shadow Ward, guys, is because like the last 19 points only give you, 1% for reduced block cost, and it's just not, it's worth it. You know what I mean? You can put 5% into reduced roll dodge, which is I never really use, and I could even maybe get a percent in throw and tenacity for that matter. And sprinter, I could do points in the sprinter and tumbling for the price of like just 1% in block cost reduction. So definitely just do that instead. 56 in a warlord though, 56 arcanist, 6 sprinter, and 11 tumbling, 81 shadow ward. Next off we got blessed. Increase your healing done by 14.5%. Again, you can actually take a couple points out of this and then move them into something. Let me see if I can actually do that real quick. Yeah, let's see. That's only going to go down to 14% exactly. Yeah, that's what we want. So 14% exactly there. Now we have 8 points to spend wherever we actually want. So maybe I'll put, yeah, so since this round's down, we'll do 81 to precise strikes. I know this tree's a little bit messed up, and then we'll do, I guess we'll put the rest in here and see what we can get. Let's see if we can actually mark this down a little bit. So it looks like we're gonna have to put that for 18% there. I don't know what else we can put in this tree, to be honest with you. This is going to be really weird. Yeah, we actually have 6 points that are completely useless in this tree, guys, so I guess it's whatever. But just put that rest into Elfborn there. So 75 into Blessed, 54 into Elfborn, and then we got 81 into Precise Strikes. Precise Strikes is the only thing that's gonna scale your healing up. For Vigor, you're never gonna really use Dragon's Blood, so the other one doesn't really matter. But Precise Strikes, 81 into there. Again, Elfborn, this only scales up your Dragon's Blood, so it's completely useless. You're never really gonna be even using these passive, but it's just may as well because like the scaling is really weird this update. Minimal returns. 75 into Bless, so 14% healing done. It gets really bad after that, so I wouldn't really put too many into that. And onto the red tree here, we got Ironclad. Oh, one more thing, guys. Make sure you have Arcane Well because it's really, really good. So just make sure you got Arcane Well up. But also, Ironclad here, we got reduce your direct damage attacks by 17%, so 44 into there. We got 31 into Thick Skin, so 13%. 43 and 43 into Elemental and Hardy, that's 10% each. So basically all damage. Expert Defenders, 16, so that's 10% into light and heavy attacks. Heavy Armor Focus, that's 33. So it gives you that extra physical resistance that we're going to need. Now this will take you to cap perfectly. The reason we don't have any into Spell Shield as well is because we're already at the spell resistance cap. So there's no reason to put any more points in there. Also Reinforced is kind of stupid to have. I don't really like that. Or where is it? I know there's one that gives you like Shield Expert right there. We're not utilizing the Reinforced on the Shield Expert, guys. It's just not worth it. Okay, it's just not. You're already at caps for everything. There's just really no reason to do that. I mean, like the reduced block cost is really what you need. You're not gonna be able to sustain without it. So just don't do Reinforced on the shield. Make sure you got Sturdy on it. That is champion points, guys. So what else can we do here? I can just do a little example here of the build. Real quick, I'm gonna do the showcase at the end there. Or actually, I can just do the showcase now, and I'll just show you, really how we go about things. However, I just want to make things clear real quick before we go into that. That when you get a stamina proc on Engine Guardian, that you're going to want to, just hit your Vigor, hit your Shuffle, and keep blocking. When you get a Magicka proc, make sure that you just keep spamming Ignis Shield to get your stamina back, like so right here. Maybe pop your thing right there, your Volatile Armor, and just keep hitting Ignis Shield to get your stamina back as well. And when you get a health proc, maybe hit one Vigor and you'll literally be invincible, and then you can do whatever you want. So it's really, really good. And your Guardian, we definitely need to have it. So anyways, guys, let's get on to the build showcase here. It'll be pretty quick, maybe a couple minutes long. Then we'll hit out that intro and we'll go from there. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the build so far. But let's get on to the the build video. Alrighty, guys, so on to the build showcase here. As you guys can see, I'm in with my friend here. Shout out Void Supernova, that's the one with the heavy Zack glitch. But yeah, guys, so we are here. We're in Vet Imperial City Prison, I believe. And we are fighting the Overfiend. We're just seeing if we can 2-man it. We ended up two-manning it, but this is just showcase for my tank. We ended up having to I just wanted to showcase a little bit in this dungeon just to show you guys what it can do here. But as you guys can see, he went down. I just want to show you really how I play the build and how we go about things. So As you guys can see here, we're just waving some like some medium, light, and heavy attacks, all that, just get back some resources. And we just gotta keep refreshing our buffs and all that. We're low, so as you guys can see, as soon as we get the magic back, we just get our stamina back with that igneous shield and all that. We just reapply our buffs and all that, and get that full magic back. I popped a corrosive, so that way I can go for the res. As you guys can see, you really take no damage. Otherwise, you would have been dead immediately if you did not have on corrosive. So we just pop that real quick. We got off like some just really good RNG right there for the magic proc. But everything's going really well. As you guys can see, I can just keep doing this for basically like ever. It just keeps going round and around and around. Everything just seems to be going well right now. I'm just got a little bit of aggro right there. Everything's going well. I think I might end up having him die here, just see again to show you how much I can tank again. So as of this moment, I just sort of knew we weren't really gonna beat it, so I just sort of was like, alright, fuck it, like, let me just go down and just keep tanking all that, right? Let me just get all the aggro on me. So eventually I get all the aggro on me, and I'm just gonna keep going around and around. And as you guys can see, this tank is absolutely stupidly overpowered. I can do this exact same thing I can normally. However, it is a little bit harder to sustain this update, like a lot harder. However, if you do know how to play tank and you've been managing this for a while, a really simple build to play. You will know how to sustain with this build. Which shouldn't be too difficult. So as you guys can see, I just keep going around and all that. Eventually I will get 200 ultimate again. As you guys see, look at that heavy attack. You just get so much stamina back as well. Again, igneous shield, all that. Try to keep up your buffs as much as you can, as best as possible. As soon as I, get enough magic, I'm sure I'll probably recast my buffs and all that. Yep, right there. And everything just keeps going well. I'm sure I'll probably hit a absorb magic or something. Or actually, no, I had the corrosive, that's why I was holding off. But we can get the res with a lot, damage on us and all that. As you guys can see, as soon as he spawns in, I'm pretty sure the harvester will respawn up, or I'm pretty sure, that will just deal even more damage, and you'll just see me tanking around there for a little bit. I can basically go forever on this build as long as nothing too crazy happens. Like, it's not like in a trial or anything. You can't just like be a one-man character there, but in normal play you definitely can. So I'm pretty sure the harvester is going to pop up here soon. Yeah, right there. So we got the harvester right there. As you guys can see, I'm completely low. Got to pop my ultimate. Gives me a bunch of resources back. I get a stamina proc. Everything's going well. So there's the RNG coming into handy there. Let me get another one as well. So we're just getting back hella resources. So right there, I'm training with a harvester. Like, if you guys know how hard it is to tank with this, like the mitigation, unless you had the mitigation, like for example, if you're an Alkosh tank with this, like you would not be able to do this. I'm telling you that right now. An Alkosh tank would not even be able to even fathom doing this. It's just not a thing. So that being said, guys, this is going to be the build showcase. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I will be sure to answer them to the best of my ability. That being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video and the build. Really hope you do, and we're going to end the showcase here. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Everything will be in the description. You guys need to revert back to that and see what time everything was. But like, comment, and subscribe. Twitter will be in the description below. And as always, YouTube. Remember, boys, I'm Prodigy, and peace.